everybody, Bill Caskey, back to the Bill Caskey Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about your brand, personal brand. It's personal brand building time, as you can tell from the thumbnail. And I'm going to teach you a couple of things today and really more try to convince you that you should be exploring this concept. And we've talked about this before on this podcast and others that I do and on some YouTube videos, but I want to get a little bit down and dirty here with you today. So if you're a first-time listener, go to billcaskey.com /podcast. And on that page is a little video of me kind of sharing with you what the purpose of these episodes are and why we do this and who I am and who I'm not and that kind of thing. So make sure you go to billcaskey.com /podcast. Over the years, I have been adamant about business-to-business sales professionals, CEO, VPs of sales, building their brand online. That's the obvious place to build it. And I have been met with a fair amount of, not criticism, but just resistance. And I understand, we're all pretty humble people and we don't want to go around shill for ourselves. And that's just not our nature. And I think that's fine. I compliment us for that nature. However, I think we're looking at personal branding all wrong. I think when you look at it through the eyes of, well, what can I say to impress the prospect? Or how many leads am I going to get from it? Or are people going to love me? Or are people not going to love me? We tend to look at everything through our eyes, which is perfectly normal. But I want you to reverse it today. I feel strongly about this, that you're doing your customer a favor by developing your personal brand online so that they can make their decision about whether they want to reach out to you or whether they want to do business with you easier and easily. Because people love authority. They love to see how the leaders in the industry are thinking, thought leaders, authority figures, panelists, whatever you want to call it. People are interested in what the leaders are doing. I want you to be a leader in your industry. I don't care whether you've been there a year or 100 years. 100 years would make you pretty old. But I don't care how long you've been there. You can be a leader regardless of how long you've been in your business. Because I think we think of leadership all wrong. We think of it as, well, he's got 25 years of experience, so certainly he can speak on this topic. No, you know what? He's got 1 year of experience or she's got 5 years of experience. Who better to speak to the person who has no experience in the business than someone who's been there a short time? Chip and Dan Heath wrote a book called what was it called? The Curse of Knowledge, maybe, or The Blessing. Knowledge is a curse, or I don't know what it was, but it had to do with, if you want to learn how to do something, if you're 25 years old, and you want to learn how to do something, you're not going to go to a 70-year-old who's been doing it all of his life. You're going to go to a 30-year-old who just started and who has mastered some of the things you want to master, but they are thinking as a beginner, and that's where you are. And I think the same thing here. So what I want to do here is I want to share with you 5 reasons that you should build your personal brand. So number 1, I think you already have a brand. You've already got one out there. If you have a LinkedIn page, you have a brand. If you have a Facebook page, you have a brand. If you're out in the market calling on people, you've got a brand. The question is have you improved it and looked at it intentionally? Or is it just, it's just who I am and I just show up and whatever I'm wearing, and whatever I do? Probably not. You probably have a little bit more intention than you think about your brand, your reputation, the vibe that people get from you. And again, we're not looking to build something here that's not legit and not authentic. I don't want you to build. I don't want you to say, what does the market need me to be? And I'll go build that. That's not true at all. I want you to be who you are. Number 2, it's immensely useful to your customer base. And I said this at the start. I'm going to reiterate it, not only for your prospects. So if let's say I'm looking for a consultant on online marketing. Let's say I'm looking to either join a course or hire a coach. And I go to the yellow pages and I look for online marketing. I might have 1,000 different yellow pages, but online, 1,000 different entries. But if I start to follow a couple of those and I notice that they're out there with content, they're shooting videos, they're putting up content, they're doing free webinars, they're doing free training, they're doing instructional classes, they leave me a time to book a call if I want to talk to one of their strategists or one of their salespeople or whatever, I'm a whole lot more likely to jump to that than to sift through the other 100 people who are in that business, some of whom may be better than this person. This has nothing to do with quality of delivery. This has to do with, are you, as a brand builder, as a personal brand, helping your customers sort through all the other garbage out there, and I do mean garbage, and get to you? And are you raising your head above everybody else because you are out there, you're creating, you're producing things? And most people aren't. That's why it doesn't take a lot. It does not take a lot to have people see you in the true light that you want to be seen in, that you're unique. And so think about it not from what can I get out of it, but how can I help my customers and my prospects to set aside all those other people, that's all the noise out there, and get right to signal. And the second thing is 2A here is it's good for your clients. I know my clients appreciate it when they see me out there doing webinars and doing, free content and sharing value with people. Because even if they don't come to it, they don't have to attend. They just know that they feel like they're in good hands with somebody who continues to do that. So that's number 2. Number 3, people buy your uniqueness. They don't buy your sameness. And I think it's very odd for us to have grown up and all these unique things that we've done, whether it's been sports or whether it's been experiences or military or performing arts, or we just think of all the unbelievable experiences you've had in your life. I don't care how old you are. I've had a lot in my years. I have a lot of very unique experiences. And yet when we go to put our brand out there, we tend to minimize those things. I don't think you should. I don't think I should. This is one of the things that with my personal brand I struggle with the most is, what do people really care about with me? Do they care that I've written a couple of books? Probably, if they care about the topics that I've written those books on. Do they care that I'm an avid fitness person? Maybe some, not all, but some. Do they care that I have I love creating content, not just the content I create, but the process? Do people care about that? Yeah, they might. But why is it then that I'm reluctant to show those things? And I think it's because I worry that I want people to see me as X. And if I start adding other lanes to that, it's the universal signal for other lanes. I don't know if you can see this or not. Then I will dilute my message. And I think that's wrong. That's wrong-headed on my part and on your part too. I want people to see your entire body of work. Now, if you're into some kinky, weird things, I'm not sure that would be helpful. But if you're into fitness and into family and maybe you're into YouTube videos but whatever you're into, I think it's okay to let that be a part of your brand. Let that out. Let that escape. It doesn't mean everybody's going to say, oh, me too, I'm a YouTube videographer too. But people say, oh, you know what, I've always kind of wanted to do that. I've been trying to get my kids to do more of that. Jonathan does that. Well, maybe I should call him and see how I want you to expand your lanes, share what you're really working on and what you enjoy out of life. It's very helpful for you to, the best word I can use for it is a mental enema, is to get the things out of your brain that are in there. And I find that this is a huge thing. If you can start with a blank piece of paper, and start to write, what is it that you know that might be helpful for others to know? Not that you're the world's foremost authority, but that you know some things that'll be helpful. If you start to do that, I think you're going to find almost like a release, because now this stuff is not all bottled up, not to continue to use the enema thing, but it's not all bottled up in there, coagulated, if you will. It starts to release and it starts to come out. And then next day you say, oh, I shared that. That allowed me to think about this. And then you can share that. And the point is not to share what nobody cares about, but to start to get that stuff out of your system. What do you know about how to buy whatever it is you sell? What are some of the mistakes that you see people make when they get ready to buy whatever it is you sell? What are some of the misconceptions people have about your product line? Just start to get some of that out. You have it all in here, but if it stays in here and doesn't make its way to the marketplace, it's of no value, not only to you, but also to your prospect. Okay, last one, number 5. Everyone loves a celebrity. Everyone loves someone who is a little known. Now, we don't always love celebrities because we get disappointed. We think people are great, and then we meet them, and they're not as great as we think they are. But I want you to be a little C celebrity. I want you to be a celebrity in your niche, in your area, in your territory. I want you to not be arrogant about it, not always looking for a camera and a microphone. No, you don't have to do that. You can just very casually and intentionally be willing to speak for the industry and be willing to share information. If you are selling heavy equipment, for example, and you learn something about one of your pieces of equipment from the manufacturer that you didn't know, and you thought, geez, how did I not know that? Does everybody know that? And you check with some of your customers and they say, I never knew that. Why didn't they put that in the operator's manual? You've got something there. So now create a piece of content on that. Talk about how you never know it. Talk about how your customers never knew it. I want to share this with the world. Here it is. So that's an example of you become a little bit of a celebrity because you have a little piece of information that nobody else has. And if you can find a way to do that on a consistent basis, you will be very successful at building your personal brand. People will call you, they'll reach out to you, you'll get other opportunities, because the whole idea here, isn't it, to build your business? Isn't that what you really want? I mean, that's what everybody comes to me for when they sign up for training or they enroll in one of our public programs or corporate work that I do with business-to-business companies, is they want more, but they don't want to beat themselves up and kill themselves, grind themselves to death doing it. So the one way to do that is to build your brand so that more people come to you. I hope this has helped today. I really want to reinforce this, and actually we might do a part 2 because I've got a document here that I think would be helpful. So I might do part 2, if not next week, then the following week. We're going to keep talking about personal brand. Go out and do something with this information. Go take action on something. See ya. Bye.